Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we are undertaking a truly fundamental exploration. It's one that I think cuts through so much of the noise of modern distraction and really gets to the core anxiety of, well, of being human.
For sure.
We're looking at sources from one of the oldest wisdom texts on record, the book of Ecclesiastes, and specifically we're in chapter 9.
And this text, it's attributed to a figure who's just called the teacher, and it is, surprisingly radical.
It is.
It just hits you right away with this brutal truth about life under the sun, which means, life from a purely human, earthly perspective.
Right. And the paradox you mentioned before we started is that this existence is somehow both fundamentally unjust and at the same time absolutely precious because it's so fleeting.
Exactly.
That's the perfect setup for you, the listener, who might be grappling with, endless to-do lists, career worries, or just that sort of existential dread.
Yeah.
This ancient text offers a powerful shortcut. Our mission today is to synthesize the teacher's stark yet profoundly hopeful philosophy. We want to show how acknowledging mortality becomes really the single most effective tool for living with urgency, purpose, and real joy.
And we'll be unpacking that core thesis. The teacher observes that everyone, the hard worker and the lazy, the moral and the corrupt, they all face the same ultimate destiny.
Yeah.
Death. This common universal outcome. It seems unfair, but accepting it creates this powerful imperative to act and enjoy life now, before the opportunity just vanishes.
So let's jump right into that foundational idea then, the universal reality of it all. The teacher calls this shared destiny one of the great evils of life under the sun.
Right.
That the ultimate equalizer is that people who seek virtue and people who live carelessly just share the same fate.
It's a leveling mechanism. It just strips away all earthly distinctions. You can be the most righteous person or the most wicked.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. You're not getting a different termination date based on your moral scorecard. And this observation, it's so crucial because it just pulls the rug out from under any simplistic belief in guaranteed karma or immediate cosmic justice here on Earth.
And the text is so unflinching about the consequence of that. It gives this incredibly stark assessment of what comes next.
Oh, yeah.
The dead, according to the source, they know nothing. It's a zero state. After death, there's no more reward, no memory, no participation in anything under the sun.
And that lack of continuity, I think that's what gives the present moment such gravity. The source says that after death, even our most intense passions, love, hate, jealousy, they all just vanish.
Wow.
This is teacher just hammering home the point that whatever meaning or connection or joy you want to experience, it has to happen right now.
There are no second chances to participate.
None.
The contrast this creates just makes the value of being alive almost staggering. And to illustrate this, he uses one of the most famous and, frankly, provocative analogies in the text.
He says, the living know that they will die, but the dead know nothing. And then he lands this unforgettable punch.
Even a live dog is better off than a dead lion.
Yes.
We really need to pause on that image for a second because it just captures the central argument so beautifully. The lion, in that culture, it represents status, strength, legacy.
Everything we chase.
Everything. And the dog is, this humble, everyday creature, maybe even despised. But the dead lion, with all its former glory and reputation, it has zero opportunity.
It completely redefines what true value is, doesn't it?
It does.
It suggests that our modern obsession with legacy, with being the lion that's remembered for centuries, is kind of misplaced. Because once the clock stops, the lion is as powerless as the dog.
But the dog is still breathing.
Right. The dog is still breathing, still able to experience the world, still able to affect the here and now. The sheer act of living offers this precious opportunity that outweighs any past achievement or reputation. Exactly. And for you, the listener, this translates to, don't get so obsessed with your professional title or your status or your future legacy that you forget to live the actual life you have today. As long as you're drawing breath, no matter how humble your circumstances, you possess hope and opportunities that death just cancels.
Okay, so if the deadline is oblivion and our status is, ultimately irrelevant, how does the teacher translate that urgency into our daily life?
Well, he doesn't advocate for panic or misery.
No, quite the opposite. He shifts entirely to this imperative of joyful engagement. He urges us to enjoy life fully, and he views it as a clear gift from God.
This is the core instruction, really. Embrace joy. The text is so precise about it. Go eat your food with gladness and drink your wine with a joyful heart, for it is now that God favors what you do.
I love that. It's not just a suggestion, it's an instruction to change your whole mental framework.
Yeah, the joy isn't a byproduct of success.
No.
It's a mandated response to the gift of just existing.
And the specifics are fascinating because they're rooted in the aesthetics of daily life. He tells us to wear white clothes, which means festive attire, to anoint our heads with oil, to eat our meals with gladness.
It's about elevating the mundane.
Exactly. It's saying, don't save the good china for some future perfect occasion that may never come.
That is such a critical insight. The interpretation of the source, it makes a really clear distinction here. This is not crude hedonism, grabbing whatever pleasure you can because you'll die tomorrow.
Right, it's like that.
No, it's defined as a grateful enjoyment of God's provision. It's an act of faith. By treating ordinary meals and daily routines as celebrations, you're acknowledging the value of the gift right now. You are actively practicing gratitude.
Turning ordinary moments into celebrations, that's a profound shift. And before he even gets to work or achievement, the teacher highlights the importance of shared life. He advises the listener to enjoy life with the wife you love all the days of your life.
This really emphasizes the priority of relationship. In a world that's defined by randomness and inevitable loss, connection is presented as one of the few stable anchors.
One of God's greatest gifts.
Right, for finding joy and meaning. Shared life, shared joy, shared companionship. These are just essential for living fully in the moment. And they guard against the loneliness that this kind of existential awareness can bring.
And this commitment to joy and companionship leads directly, almost jarringly, into the work ethic mandate. This is where you might expect some fatalism, given his earlier point about chance, but no, it's the opposite. The imperative is absolute. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might.
It's such a powerful call to action. The teacher is saying, don't let the randomness of outcomes excuse half-hearted effort.
Yeah.
You might ask, well, if success is left up to time and chance, why bother with the all-your-might part?
That's the exact question you have to ask. Why be so diligent if the race isn't always won by the swift?
And the justification is entirely based on mortality. You work with all your might, not because it guarantees an external reward,
No.
but because in the grave, where you are going, there is neither working nor planning nor knowledge nor wisdom. The value of the effort is inherent to the opportunity, not the result.
So the deadline oblivion becomes the ultimate motivator.
Right.
Since there's no potential for knowledge, no chance for planning, and certainly no work available after death, we just can't hold back now. And the source applies this to all work.
Everything, whether you're a CEO, a parent, a volunteer, a student.
You have a finite window to make your contribution.
It's this really comprehensive philosophy.
Yeah.
You have the command to live joyfully, and you have the command to work diligently. But this is where the teacher earns his title as a true realist.
Yes.
He immediately follows that work ethic mandate with the humility check we also desperately need.
Absolutely. He introduces the idea that ability does not guarantee results. He states, the race is not to the swift or the battle to the strong, but time and chance happen to them all.
This is a huge reality check for our meritocratic society.
Oh, yeah.
It synthesizes ability and luck. You can be the fastest runner, but if you trip, or the starting gun misfires, or a sudden storm hits, your ability is irrelevant. Success involves factors that are entirely beyond your diligent effort timing, circumstance, the political climate, or just simple bad luck.
And the implication of that is so profound. The source suggests this reality should result in two specific attitudes.
Right.
First, humility and success.
Yeah.
If you win the race, don't assume your speed was the only factor. And second, graciousness in failure.
Yeah, if you fail, don't assume your effort was lacking. Sometimes the timing just wasn't right.
It frees us from both arrogance and despair.
And to really drive this point home, he gives the parable of the poor wise man.
This story.
This is one of the most sobering observations in the text about unrecognized merit. We're told this wise man saved a city through his superior wisdom, and yet, what happened?
He was forgotten, and his wisdom was despised. That is the ultimate betrayal of meritocracy. He did the right thing. He applied his knowledge perfectly. He achieved the best possible outcome, saving the city.
But the city, once it was safe, just refused to give him the time of day, let alone recognition or wealth.
Yeah.
And this forces us to confront our own motivations. The source explicitly says wisdom is valuable. It's better than strength and better than weapons of war.
Yeah.
But it's often not recognized or rewarded by the people who benefit from it. So the lesson for you, the listener, is to pursue wisdom and ethical action because it's inherently right and wise, not because it guarantees you a parade or a corner office.
So the reward for the effort and the wisdom, it has to come from an internal source.
It has to.
A sense of having fulfilled the duty to use the time and mind you were given. Because if your satisfaction relies on external appreciation from, fallible, forgetful people, you're setting yourself up for disappointment.
And reinforcing this element of chance, the teacher reminds us that disaster can strike anyone unexpectedly.
Right.
He paints this stark picture, comparing people to fish caught in a net or birds in a snare, trapped by evil times that fall without warning.
No one knows when their hour will come.
No one. Which is why that constant readiness and humility are so essential.
And finally, there's this powerful warning about the fragility of collective effort. The source highlights the disproportionate destructive power of negative forces.
One sinner destroys much good.
Think about that. Decades of planning, wisdom, diligent effort. All of it can be undone by one selfish choice, one reckless person, one foolish decision.
It just underscores the importance of guarding against sin and foolish choices, not just for ourselves, but for the whole community we exist in, because small compromises can have these geometrically large destructive consequences.
Okay, let's connect all this ancient wisdom back to our contemporary issues. Today we have, I think, two primary cultural responses to mortality. Either we try to deny death entirely through, obsessive anti-aging regimens, digital immortality projects, constant distractions, or we become paralyzed by existential dread and anxiety, which just leads to cynicism and apathy.
And Ecclesiastes 9 offers this necessary third way. It tells us to acknowledge death honestly, look it square in the eye, and then, because the time is so short-lived, fully and joyfully now, it's the ultimate antidote to procrastination and to cynicism. It doesn't deny the unfairness. It embraces the opportunity that remains.
That's the real deep dive here, using the certainty of the end to fuel the quality of the journey. So let's review the practical takeaways that the source material suggests for you.
Okay, first, focus on full engagement. The text is telling us to stop postponing life. Don't wait for perfect financial freedom or perfect circumstances.
No.
The only time you have to enjoy relationships, gifts, and opportunities is right now.
Second, elevate the ordinary. Practice gratitude daily by turning ordinary moments, like a simple meal or just putting on clean clothes, into a celebration. Recognize these everyday provisions as gifts.
Third is commit to full effort. Whatever task is in front of you, do it with all your might. The quality of your effort is a testament to the appreciation of your limited time, regardless of the ultimate payoff. Work is meaningful because you are doing it, and that opportunity will end.
And fourth, maintain humility in outcome. Do your best, but understand that results involve factors beyond your control, time, and chance. This is the perspective that frees you from both that crippling self-doubt when you fail and the self-congratulatory arrogance when you succeed.
This philosophy, when you distill it, it provides immense clarity. Life is undeniably short, it's uncertain, but the message from this ancient wisdom is crystal clear. Life is an extraordinary gift, demanding joyful engagement and full, unreserved effort.
It certainly reframes the entire definition of success. It's not about the reward you receive, but the diligence and wisdom you applied while you still had the chance.
And that leads us to the final provocative thought, building directly on that story of the poor wise man who saved the city but was forgotten. The teacher challenges us with this. What wisdom, what effort, what action is God calling you to follow and pursue, even if you know for certain ahead of time that it will never bring you recognition, praise, or appreciation from other people?
Wow.
That determination to act wisely, regardless of the applause, that is the true measure of purpose defined by this powerful source. And on that note, we encourage you to continue exploring, learning, and diving deep into stories that inspire and challenge you. Until next time.